Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. They will continue our lab, the Red Alert lab. This is the video number 60. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have discussed the issue of securing Adobe Reader DC based on the recommendations of the Department of Defense and the Defense Information System Agency of the United States, not by using the group policy. So we will apply these recommendations or security recommendations by the group policy objects, but we will secure it in a different way. We will secure it using a tool called Adobe Reader Customization tool. So basically we will use this tool to tweak the setup of the Adobe Reader DC to remove the features that we need it to be removed, something like the online features, and to change the default setting of the Adobe Reader DC to be in line with the recommendations of the Department of Defense. We have done this in 2 videos and we have finished this. It is a very simple way to do it, more easy than using the group policy, and actually using this tool will help you also not to apply the recommendations or the security recommendations, but to deploy the Adobe Reader as well. So this tool will help you to deploy Adobe Reader DC to a large number of PCs at once. So we have done this in 2 videos. This video we will discuss how we can make an IT audit report. So for example, if we need to for example, you have one of your friends and he is on IT and he asked you to audit his Windows security setting, or to see if his Windows 10 is secure or not, or his Windows 10 environment is secure or not. So what we need to do, he told you that you are a security expert and you are using a lot of recommendations based on the Department of Defense and the Defense Information System Agency of the United States. So he told you that he need to use these recommendations and he need to evaluate the security of his Windows 10, for example. What you need to do after, of course, you will evaluate his security environment, or his security to evaluate the security of his Windows 10. We need to make a report, okay, an official report that discuss all of the points concerning securing Windows 10. So how we can do this? First of all, we will go to your you go to your friend and then choose one of his Windows 10 PCs. For example, let's consider this laptop is his Windows 10 PC in his work environment or in his domain environment. We need to know the version of this Windows, so we will do this and then run and tell him when ver, okay, and this is the Windows version, okay, so we know it. And then we go to the STIG website, okay, and then download, okay, all of the recommendations. So this is the link to download all of the recommendations of the Department of Defense, and then we will choose the Windows 10 security recommendations. So we will go to the website and download the recommendation, and before that we need to know the Windows 10 version so we can use the security recommendations specifically to this Windows 10 version, okay. So we will go to the website and download the recommendations, and then we will download also the group policy objects. So here we can download ready-made group policies. So after you know or after you download the recommendations, you can download ready-made group policies so you can import them to your friend Active Directory environment and to be applied immediately. So you do not need to create a group policy one by one. You can import it directly by downloading the group policy objects from the same website, okay. So these are 2 things, and at the end we will use a tool called STIG tool. This tool will help us to create a report, okay. So we will have 3 things to do. First of all, we need to know the Windows 10 version, and then we need to go and download the recommendations for this Windows 10 version, and then we will download the group policy or the ready-made group policies so we can import them to the Active Directory or import them to the Group Policy Management Console directly. Okay, so we can apply our recommendations at one shot, okay. And at the end we will download something called STG Viewer. This is a tool that we will use to create a report, okay. So let's begin, or let's see how we can begin an IT audit. Okay, so what we will do, we will open this STIG. So this is the program, this is the STIG. Okay, here you go, you will set up it directly, and then this is the STIG viewer. Okay, and then we need to view the recommendations for securing Windows 10. So I will tell him file, okay, and then import STG. We will go and import these recommendations. Okay, so this is all of the recommendations of the Department of Defense. We need to choose the one concerning Windows 10. So let's choose it, Windows 10, Windows 10, Windows 10. So let's continue, Windows 10, Windows 10. So okay, I think it's in Microsoft. So let's continue. Okay, Microsoft, Windows 10. Okay, this is for Cisco, so we can continue. Okay, so there you go, this is Microsoft. Of course, this are all of the group policies of Microsoft, but this is not for the Windows. Let's continue. This is for the Office. Okay, this is for the PowerPoint, for SQL. And then here we can see that this is the recommendation for securing Windows 10. So this is version number 3. So this is securing. So here we can see that this is securing Windows 10. Okay, so we'll tell him open. Okay, so let's see this one. So these are the recommendations of securing Windows 10. So you can see it here, and instead of view it in a browser, you can view it from this tool. So these are the recommendations. Now you can begin audit to the audit of your Windows 10 friend's PC. Now you can, for example, see the first recommendation that the Windows should be Windows 10 Enterprise. You need to check this first setting and check if he has Windows 10 Enterprise or not. This is the recommended version of Windows 10 to be used in corporate environments. So for example, you will check them one by one. Okay, and at the end we need to make a report to tell my friend which one of these recommendations you fulfill, or it is already in your environment, and which recommendation you should apply. Okay, so how we can do this? We will go and tell him checklist. So we'll make something called create checklist from market STIG. So this is a market STIG recommendation, and then him create a checklist. Okay, and then let's see here what is this checklist. So this checklist, for example, this is the first recommendation. Let's try it. For example, is saying that you should have your system to be Windows 10 Enterprise. So let's, for example, try and do this. So we will go and, for example, tell him that run, okay, and WinVer, okay. So this is Windows 10, okay. This is Enterprise Edition. So we fulfilled this part of the recommendation. So what we will do, we will tell him here the status of this one. This is not a finding. So we already fulfilled this one and is already marked by green. We can tell him finding details using win. So this is a command using WinVer command. Okay, we verified that we have Windows 10 Enterprise installed. So this is the finding, the comments. Okay, so you can tell, or you can use this tool to audit your environment and create a report. So this is the first recommendation. The status, this is not a finding because we have already it is already in place. We can put a comment. Okay, we can tell him finding details, what we have found, and comments we can tell him successful. or successfully confirmed. Let's see here. So this is one recommendation and we have its status. Let's go to the other one. For example, we can tell him, for example, that we don't have credential guard. For example, tell him that not applicable, or it is open. So we mean here we not applicable, this is not applied, or it is not applied. What applicable, what we mean that your Windows 10 version, for example, does not support the credential manager or credential guard. This is only in enterprise or Windows 10 Enterprise Edition or Pro. So this is not applicable, or it is open, it needs to be issued, or it needs to be addressed. So we tell him, for example, credential, for example, guard is not activated. We need to activate it. Okay, so we can go all the way for all of the recommendations. For example, let's select them all. Just wait for a moment. So here, for example, if you finish all of the recommendations, you can tell him, for example, that all are not a finding, so all of them are passed, and we will need to get some info about this machine. So we tell him to get host data. So you need to install this program, okay, on the machine that you need to audit. So he took my computer name, the IP address, the MAC address, okay, and we can put some more details. Okay, for example, we tell him that this is a workstation, and for example, we are implementing Windows 10 security technical, or we are working with securing Windows 10. The technological area, we need to tell him that we are auditing, or we are audit Windows OS. So we are auditing the operating system of Windows. Okay, so all of these will be done in a report. Let me show you all how this will be done. So we have done all of the checklist. We have checked all of the recommendations. Some of them are applied, some of them are not. We need to go and get a report. So for example, here we will tell him export, and then we need to create a report and see what exactly the report will look like. Just wait for a moment. So we will choose, or we will get all of these columns. We need to get certain things. Let me choose and tell you, or let me show you all what a report will look like. Okay, meditations. Okay, so all of these are columns. Okay, responsibility, severity, check content, classification, okay, STG, status, comments, finding. So we'll leave this. Okay, and then we will do like this. Okay, and then qualified name, and then like this, and then like this. Okay, and let's see how the report will look like. So we'll tell him okay, and then we will export it like this. Okay, and then we will see how the report will look like. So this is a report. We have tested our friend Windows 10 PC, and we have seen that he is implementing some security recommendations and some are not applied. So we need to tell him what are the security recommendations that are applied, and what the security recommendations that are not applied, so he can focus on. Okay, so let's see the report, how it will look like. So here, for example, let's go further and see something like this. Just wait for a moment. So here you can see that this is a very good report. It will tell you the technological area. This is Windows OS, so we are auditing Windows operating system. This is the name of the PC, this is the IP address, this is the MAC address, this is the severity of the recommendation. So there is 3 categories for severity. There is medium, there is low, there is high. So the high means that you need to apply it immediately. This is a very important security point or security recommendation you need to apply. Medium is severity, it is medium security. okay, or it is not highly it is not a very high secure point you need to apply. So it's in medium in severity or low in severity. So the severity, it is concerning the security. If it is high severity, that means that it is very, very high critical point you need to focus on and to cure it. If it is medium, so you can focus not so much. Okay, as for low, you can ignore it completely. But we will work on working with the recommendations that are medium in severity and high in severity. And actually, I tell you all, you need to work with all of them. Anyway, so this is the group title. This is the rule title. So here we can see that it gives you a brief about what the first recommendation says. For example, says that domain joined systems must have Windows 10 Enterprise. So this is the rule title, and then responsibility. So we can see here that there is something called responsibility. Who is responsible for this recommendation? Okay, if you can, for example, go like this. So if you can go like this, okay. So his responsibility, who is responsible for this, what is the recommendation concerning Windows 10, and then the status, not a finding, so we are compliant with it, and this is the comment, okay, and this is the finding, and this is the IP. So this is a small report, okay, that tells us what are the findings that we have found for our friend's Windows 10 PC. So we will take this report, give it to our friend, and he need to work with it or work on it. So he, for example, know that he need to apply some recommendations, so he can go and apply the group policy object directly. So he can import the group policy object concerning the Windows 10 directly to his group policy management console, and he begin working directly with it. Okay, so this is a way that we can create a report. Let me show you all something here. If we do this, tell him format table and do like this and then tell him okay. So you can see this is a report, a very detailed report about our friend's Windows 10 PC. So this is a way that I showed you all how we can make an audit or a professional IT audit report and give it to our friends. Okay, so this is one way that we can do it, and it is very simple, and you can download the STIG viewer. So you can download this program. Okay, you can download it from here. You can download it from here and work with it. Okay, so this is how you can make a professional IT audit report. Hope this video is informative to you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.